Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today we're getting into something really interesting. The ways behavioral economics is showing up in, of all things, fintech.
Yeah, it sounds complicated, I know. But strip away the jargon, it's really about how our brains work with money decisions, not just the dollars and cents themselves.
Yeah.
And fintech companies, they're paying attention.
That's what makes this so cool, right? It's not just theory, it's in the apps we probably use every day. But before we get all big brother on this, it's about our brains first.
Right, like that Econ 101 idea that we're all perfectly rational, making the best choice every time. Turns out, real life's way messier.
Oh, tell me about it. Just the other week, I spent ages researching noise-canceling headphones, like every review, every spec, but then, bam, random sale pops up, and I'm totally swayed. Didn't even need them that badly.
Classic anchoring bias. Our brains latch onto that first piece of info like it's a price anchor, even if it's not the best deal overall. And don't get me started on the availability heuristic.
Availability. That rings a bell. Remind me.
Remember when, I don't know, someone you know vaguely won the lottery? Suddenly it feels like everyone's winning, right?
Oh, right. Makes those lottery tickets at checkout seem way more tempting.
Exactly. Our brains overestimate the odds because that one win is so vivid, so available in our memory.
So we're not really good at judging actual risk then, huh?
And it gets deeper. It's not just winning or losing, but how it makes us feel. That's where prospect theory comes in. A loss hurts way more than a same-size gain feels good.
Oh, 100%. Seeing my portfolio dip, even a little, just ruins my mood. Way more than an equal gain cheers me up, even though it should be the same, right?
Exactly. Loss aversion is powerful, like investors holding on to losing stocks, hoping they'll rebound instead of cutting their losses. That feeling is hardwired, even if it's not the smartest move.
Okay, so we're basically walking emotion-driven calculators. How does this all play into fintech, though? Are budgeting apps secretly judging our bad decisions?
Not judging, hopefully, but they're definitely using this stuff to, let's say, nudge us in the right direction. Take something like Digit, you know that app?
Yeah, the one that sneaks little bits of money into savings. Been meaning to try that, actually.
Perfect example. It uses loss aversion, right? Those small amounts, we barely notice them gone, so it doesn't feel as painful as a big transfer.
Plus, I'm guessing most people just stick with the default, whatever the app sets up initially.
Exactly. Inertia, status quo bias, all that. We're more likely to stay put than change things, even if changing is better in the long run.
Makes you wonder what else they're nudging us towards. What about those robo-advisor things? They use this stuff, too.
Oh, absolutely. Think about investing for the average person. It's intimidating. Too many choices, you end up doing nothing, which helps no one.
Choice overload. Right. I've totally been there. Wall of investment options. I'll just close the tab and order takeout instead.
And that's where the robo-advisor swoops in. They simplify it. Curated portfolio based on your goals, risk tolerance, all that. Less decision fatigue, easier to get started.
So they're not just managing money, they're managing our tendency to freak out. That's kind of brilliant.
Right. And let's not forget gamification. Those little points, badges, progress bars.
Yeah.
Might seem silly.
Don't even get me started on progress bars. My brain is powerless against a good progress bar, even if it's just for drinking enough water.
But you see, it works. Makes those good habits more fun, more rewarding, even if the reward is kind of imaginary.
So it's like subtle manipulation, but for our own good, ideally.
Ideally, yeah. Even those tiny prompts, we call them nudges, make a difference. Like automatic enrollment in retirement plans, unless you opt out.
Makes sense. I'd be way less likely to set it up myself, even if I know I should.
Exactly. Leaning on that status quo bias again makes it more likely we'll actually save for the future.
Okay, I'm starting to think we need to add mindfulness to our budgeting spreadsheets. But seriously, this is fascinating yet. Kind of makes you wonder, right?
Oh yeah, the ethical side of this could get thorny.
Like, how do we know an app is really trying to help us make good choices, not just choices that make them more money?
Transparency is huge EE. Apps that are upfront about what data they use, how, and why they're recommending something, those are good signs.
So no more hiding behind 20 pages of fine print.
Ideally, none. You want to feel in control, not like you're being tricked into something. Like a good app will explain its logic. Recommending an investment. Tell me why, based on my situation, not just some generic advice.
Yeah, it's like, I'll take advice from a friend, but a pushy salesperson just makes me want to leave the store.
Exactly. Empowerment is key. These apps should give you knowledge, insights, but the decision is still yours. A partnership, not a dictatorship.
So, big picture, what should we take away from all this as we're, nervously checking our bank balances after this chat?
Uh-huh. Key thing, be an informed consumer. Understand the psychology behind the apps, not just the numbers they show you. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to try different ones. Find what aligns with your goals and values.
So, we got to be as savvy about our mental quirks as we are about interest rates and all that.
100%. The more you know how your brain works, the better equipped you are to make good financial choices, even with all these nudges flying around.
This has been eye-opening, gotta say. Never thought I'd connect psychology to my budgeting app this way.
Glad to dig into it.
Mhm.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially with something as important as our money.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the wild world of behavioral economics and fintech. Until next time, everyone, happy saving, spending, and all that good stuff, but do it mindfully.